In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a ceramic chocolate covered strawberry. So to start out, you want to make sure that you have water and some tools for scoring, and you want to get a piece of clay that is a little bit smaller than like the size of a tennis ball. Please make sure that you've wedged it, so you remember that's when you throw it down and rotate it. And then you want to roll it into a ball. Once you've done this, you then want to roll it into a teardrop shape. So the teardrop shape is going to allow us to make sort of that foundational shape of the strawberry. So instead of rolling the whole thing, I'm just going to roll on one side. So if you notice, I'm just pushing down on the side here while I roll, and it's already starting to kind of get a little bit longer. Now, if while you're doing this, you're having trouble getting it to become that teardrop shape, you can kind of squeeze it and manipulate it into that shape, but then just make sure that you roll it after, because that's going to kind of smooth out the shape, because otherwise you wind up with those like fingerprinty kind of little marks in there. Right, so roll it out. Once you have your teardrop shape, you then want to turn this into a teardrop shaped pinch pot. So what you're going to do is go into the meaty part, okay, the sort of thickest part here. Press your thumb down until you're about, I'd say about a little less than half an inch from the bottom, okay? I know it's kind of hard to judge, but you know, you want to make sure you go in down to like your knuckle, your first knuckle of your thumb. Then you want to pinch like this around. Now you're going to notice I have a hole here, but then I have this whole area that's still not hollow, right? So now I'm going to pinch my thumb into here to sort of hollow out that part. So right now it's sort of an ovally shape. If your end, your pointy side of your strawberry starts to get a weird shape, you can just kind of like push it back into the shape you want it to be. And now I have sort of my basic strawberry shape. From here, I'm going to dip my fingers in water and just start to smooth it out so that you get rid of any big bumps. Now, you don't want to put too much water on, because if you use too much water, that can actually make it harder to smooth out the bumps. That just does more like superficial smoothing, like on the very, very surface. Okay, so you got to kind of like push in while you do it. If you're finding it's changing the shape of it while you do that, you can always put one hand on the inside and support it while you smooth it out. So I'm pretty happy with that shape. And if you turn it this way too, you just want to make sure that the front, like when you turn it on its side, that the front is shorter than the back end. So now I have my basic strawberry. From here, I want to start doing some things to make it look like it's dipped in chocolate. So I want to have like a little bit of an edge here to show where the chocolate ends and the strawberry begins. So that's where my little skewer tool comes in. Oh wait, hold on. Before you do anything, flip it over. As neat as you can. On this bottom part here, you're going to write your name. Okay, please write your first and last name and your class code. Okay. So if you have, you know, art first period on A day, please write A1. And if you notice, I'm doing it in dots, that way it shows up better. And your class code, please, please, please make sure your name is on here. It really helps me, okay? So then you're gonna turn it over. Now we get to do the chocolate stuff. I'm so glad I remembered to tell you about the name. So then in here, we're going to just draw kind of like a little wiggly line, like that. Then we're going to take our finger, dip it in water, and we're going to smooth right along the edge of that line. And that's going to kind of push the clay that's on this side of the line down a little bit. And I'll show you what that looks like. So that when you turn it to the side, it looks like the chocolate is like up higher than the strawberry. So it looks like a second layer of something on there. Once you've done that, you can start to add some decorative things. So if you wanted to add like a drizzle, you could roll out, you know, a little coil. If you would like to make this have some kind of a theme, like for example, if you wanted to make it look like a cat or a skeleton for Halloween or something like that, you can add, you know, elements on there, you know, eyes, ears, whatever. Just always make sure that none of your elements are thinner than 1/4 of an inch if they're going to be freestanding. And as always, whenever we attach something, we have to slip and score. So slip by adding our water to mix with the clay, and score adding those rough patches so it makes it kind of like a Velcro. I'm just going to attach this, okay? Now, if you don't want to add things like this, you don't have to. You can make it plain chocolate. You can, once you paint it, if you want to do like, you know, I've seen people do things where they do sort of like marbling with the paint or something. That could be really pretty. But you just want to make sure this is really pressed on well. And then you just want to go in, if you have any scoring showing, you want to make sure that you smooth that out. And then the last thing, or the second to last thing that we're going to do, is we're going to add the pattern of the strawberry seeds. If you want to skip this part and just paint them on later, if you really like doing detail paint, you can do that, or you can make it a texture. It's your choice. And then the last thing I'm going to add is going to be my leaves. Now my leaves are going to be mini teardrop shapes that I'm going to slip and score onto the strawberry. So you're going to take a little piece, roll it into a ball, roll that into sort of a teardrop shape, and then press it down. And you can kind of manipulate it with your fingers and stuff. But then when you go to attach it, you want to score the end of the strawberry where you're going to attach it, and then also the leaf. And you don't want to make these too skinny because remember, they will break. And then when you attach this, because there's a lot of it that's freestanding off of it, you want to just make sure that you really blend some of that clay on to make sure it's on there real sturdy. Now when you go to add more petals, you don't want to blend them all together and have them look like a big blob. So what you want to do is, for your next one, only blend half of it on, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to score that, and I'm going to press this on so you can start to see them attaching there. Now I want to have definition between this petal and this petal. So instead of me blending all the way across here, I'm just going to blend this side down. Okay. And then, so that's attached now. Now, when I'm all done, like with any clay project, you want to take your fingers and water and you want to smooth the whole thing out. If you would like to add any little details here with a skewer, like little lines on the leaves or things to add texture, you can do that as well. And then, you know, any little decorations you want to kind of make it your own. Okay? And this is how to make our ceramic strawberry.